Okay, we're going to problem number 9, and here we're going to have to distribute first before we go about solving. So the first thing we want to make sure we do is distribute negative 2 to x, and that gives us negative 2x. Negative 2 to positive 3 times positive 3 is negative 6. On the other side, 3 times x, that's 3x. 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. Now, we have a classic x on both sides type of problem. We want to decide which side should the x's go on, and again, I'm going to pick on the little guy. In this case, the smallest x term is the negative 2x. It's negative to begin with, so it's always going to be smaller than a positive, and I'm going to get rid of that by adding 2x to both sides. Now the reason why I like to, as I say, pick on the little guy is because that always ensures that my x terms are going to come out positive, and positive is always better than negative. Again, I say keep it positive. Makes it easier for you to work with. So we have a negative 6, then we have 3x plus 2x, which is 5x. Don't forget that we're adding this time. And then minus 21. So at this point my x is in place, and so I just want to get everything else out of the way. So I do need to add the 21 to both sides. Add the 21 to both sides, and we have negative 6 plus 21, or you could also say 21 minus 6, which is 15. So 5x is equal to 15. Divide both sides by 5, and x is equal to 3. And so that's our answer for problem number 9. All right, with problem number 10, we have a little bit of complication here because we have fractions. And this one is not as simple as one of the earlier ones we did, where we can just multiply both sides by, well, I mean, we could do that. We could multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 1/2, which is the x term, and we multiply both sides by 2, but that's not going to clear all the fractions out, and I won't go through that to show you. But what will clear all the fractions out on the first time is multiplying both sides by the least common denominator, which in this case is 6. So what I'm going to do then is multiply both sides of the equation by 6. And so we have 2/3 minus x plus 5x. Now, is equal to 6 times 1/2 x. Now, I just broke one of my own rules, which is if there are like terms on the same side, I want to simplify them before I get started. So even though I've already written this step out, I notice that there's a negative x and a positive 5x. It's really going to make my life simpler if I combine those before I do anything more. So I'm just going to rewrite everything one more time. But this time I'm going to simplify that. Negative x plus 5x gives me a positive 4x. So 2/3 plus 4x, and the other side is still 1/2 x. All right, now I'm going to multiply both sides by 6. And I'm going to take this in slow motion, so to speak, and I'm going to distribute that 6 to both terms on the left side, and obviously distribute the 6 to the one term on the right side. So I'm going to multiply 6 times 2/3, and I'm going to multiply 6 times 4x, and I'm going to multiply 6 times 1/2 x. Again, you don't have to show all of this work, but it's helpful at the beginning so that you make sure you're not doing it incorrectly. So 6 times 2/3, again, if you notice, we have 6/3, which is 2. 2 times 2, so this is going to be, leave us a 2 here, and a 2 times 2 is 4. Then 6 times 4x, that's 24x. And on the other side, we have 6 divided by 2, which is 3. 3 times 1 is 3, and that leaves 3x on the other side. So here we're back to the types of problems that we've been working with so far. We have an x on both sides. I'm going to pick on the little guy, get rid of the 3x from the right side, and so we end up with 0 on the right is equal to 4 plus 24 minus 24x minus 3x is 21x. At this point, I'm going to subtract the 4 from both sides, and I get 21x is equal to 0 minus 4 is negative 4. And although this may not come out to be a nice answer, as many of the other ones have, we're simply going to divide both sides by 21. There are no common factors there. 4 is 2 times 2, 21 is 3 times 7, and so we simply end up with x is equal to negative 4 over 21, and that's going to be our answer for problem number 10. And we'll stop this video at this point, go on to the next problems in the next video.